The first is to have the ATC services be part of a government agency, as is currently the case in the United States. The problem with this model is that funding can be inconsistent and can disrupt the development and operation of services. Sometimes funding can disappear when lawmakers cannot approve budgets in time. Both proponents and opponents of privatization recognize that stable funding is one of the major factors for successful upgrades of ATC infrastructure. Some of the funding issues include sequestration and politicization of projects. Proponents argue that moving ATC services to a private corporation could stabilize funding over the long term, which will result in more predictable planning and rollout of new technology as well as training of personnel. Another model is to have ATC services provided by a government corporation. This model is used in Germany, where funding is obtained through user fees. Yet another model is to have a for-profit corporation operate ATC services. This is the model used in the United Kingdom, but there have been several issues with the system there, including a large-scale failure in December 2014 which caused delays and cancellations and has been attributed to cost-cutting measures put in place by this corporation. In fact, earlier that year, the corporation owned by the German government won the bid to provide ATC services for Gatwick Airport in the United Kingdom. The last model, which is often the suggested model for the United States to transition to, is to have a non-profit organization that would handle ATC services as is used in Canada. The Canadian system is the one most often used as a model by proponents of privatization. Air traffic control privatization has been successful in Canada with the creation of NAV Canada, a private non-profit organization which has reduced costs and has allowed new technologies to be deployed faster due to the elimination of much of the bureaucratic red tape. This has resulted in shorter flights and less fuel usage. It has also resulted in flights being safer due to new technology. NAV Canada is funded from fees that are collected from the airlines based on the weight of the aircraft and the distance flown. ATC is operated by national governments with few exceptions. In the European Union, only Italy has private shareholders. Privatization does not guarantee lower prices. The profit margin of MAC was 70% in 2017, as there is no competition. But governments could offer fixed terms concessions. Australia, Fiji and New Zealand run the upper airspace for the Pacific Islands governments. Hungary Control offers remote airport tower services from Budapest, and since 2014 provides upper airspace management for Kosovo. ATC regulations in the United States, edit. The United States airspace is divided into 21 zones, centers, and each zone is divided into sectors. Also within each zone are portions of airspace, about 50 miles, 80.5 kilometers, in diameter, called TRACON, Terminal Radar Approach Control, airspaces. Within each TRACON airspace are a number of airports, each of which has its own airspace with a 5-mile, 8-kilometer, radius. FAA Control Tower Operators, CTO, /Air Traffic Controllers use FAA Order 7110.65 as the authority for all procedures regarding air traffic. See also, edit. 1 Air Traffic Service. 2 Flight Information Service Officer. 3 Flight Planning. 4 ICAO recommendations on use of the International System of Units. 5 Forward Air Control. 6 Global Air Traffic Management. 7 RMACD. 8 Tower EN Route Control, Tech. 9 List of tallest air traffic control towers in the United States. References, edit.